where it says the equation, slope, line, and intercept. We're going to define the slope. We're going to identify the y-intercept, and you're going to tell me whether it's a horizontal or a vertical line. Now, looking at this one, y equals x. Does it have a y and an x in it?
Yeah.
So that means it's going to be diagonal. Everybody circle diagonal. We're going to, just wait, just pump the brakes. Now, what's the slope? What's the number in front of x?
1.
So, we write 1 right here. Yep, but we couldn't do it for the last 2 days, so we're going back to basics. Now, what is my y-intercept?
1.
Does it have a number back here?
No.
So what is it?
Next there.
0. If it was 1, it would have a plus 1. But since there's nothing there, it's a 0. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
Now we're going to practice graphing it. So we always start with our y-intercept. And I want to make sure that we write y-intercept above that. Everybody put a y right here. Because intercept could mean x or y. And we specifically graph our y-intercept. Then what I want everyone to do is I want you to take your pen or pencil. And I want you to write that this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. X-axis, y-axis.
So, if we do that, we set the off. If we don't do it.
X-axis, y-axis. X-axis, y-axis. X-axis, y-axis. X-axis, y-axis. X-axis, y-axis. X-axis, y-axis. Okay, good. Write it. It has to be on all of them. Now, looking at this one, what is my y-intercept? What did we write our y-intercept was?
0.
So here's what we're going to do. This new thing called look at our paper before we answer. What did we write our y-intercept was? Do not say anything. Everybody look at your paper. What is this number? Now, Natalie, please tell me what our y-intercept is. Take a point for your team, baby. Everybody put a dot at 0. If you would have looked at your paper. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tell me what the slope is. But first we're going to look at our paper. Everybody, look at your paper. I should see heads down at our paper. Look at your paper. Eyes not on me, on your paper. And then Paris is going to tell me what my slope is. Fantastic. Take a point. So do we go up 1 or down 1? Up because it's positive. And then we go right 1. Up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1. Up 1, right 1. Should we also go down 1, left 1?
Yeah.
All the way across. Now, there are rulers and protractors in the second drawer of your tower. If you need one, get it out. Make a straight line. Use a straight edge. Do not draw a crooked line. Crooked lines are curves. Now, was talking or singing any part of those instructions?
No.
I'm pretty sure it was just get a ruler, wasn't it? And make a line? So we shouldn't have to say anything. Unless you're asking one of the teachers a question, you shouldn't be saying anything. Now, why was this a diagonal line?
Now?
Good.
Because is not an answer.
What? I didn't use.
Will?
It starts at 0.
No. But close. I'm sorry, you shouldn't have been talking. So, tell me, why is this diagonal?
I mean, you only answer that. You always tell me I already answered on that. So I'm not going to answer that. I'm quiet.
Kind of, yes. Bryn? Nope. Will?
Did you go through this year?
Nope. Why did we make a diagonal line? Why did we say at the beginning, before we even... No.
Okay.
At the beginning, before we graphed, why did we circle diagonal? All lines are straight. If it's not straight, it's a curve. Y'all, we said that it's a diagonal because it has a Y and an X. That's all I needed you to tell me.
I said that though.
Then why didn't you raise your hand and say it? Crazy. Alright, now let's look at this one. Does this one have a Y and an X in it? No, it just has an X. So, which axis is it going to pass through? The X axis. What is it going to pass through at?
4.
Okay, so let's go write 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a dot. Now, is it going to pass through the Y axis at all? No, because it doesn't have a Y in it. So does that mean that we're going to go diagonal, or are we going to go straight up and down? We're going to go straight up and down. Now, is that horizontal or is that vertical? That's vertical. So what should we circle over here? Oh, potatoes. Thank you. Ignore that. I'll fix it. Now, nothing. Do we have a Y-intercept?
No. Yes.
Does it cross the Y-axis?
No.
Yes.
So none. No Y-intercept. Can you tell me what the slope is, Ronaldo? Does anybody remember what the slope of a vertical line is? It's not 0. Nope.
Oh, X.
Nope.
It's like 109.
No, it's not 109. It's not quadrant. No. The slope starts with a U.
You claim that. You claimer. No, nobody else saying that. I know. Don't put it down yet. I know. Give me a second. You gotta look back.
You put it down.
Dude, what is this? I ain't start with a U. I ain't even gonna look at
You go. Undefined.
It's undefined
I was like this.
because we retain knowledge.
I mean, talking to you.
Now, last year, do you guys remember that we drew the face? We had the face. We did. We had a plus and a minus. No, I just want you to pay attention. Now, what kind of slope is this? A positive. Do you see the plus sign under it? This is positive. So a positive slope goes uphill, yes. Now, is this a positive or a negative? Because it's downhill, we would fall off the cliff. Is this vertical? So it's undefined. And who remembers what a horizontal one is? 0. You did answer this one though and talk about uphill, so yes, you get a point. Alright, now, let's look at our this one right here. Y equals negative 2x plus 4. Does it have a Y and an X?
Yes.
So is it going to be vertical, horizontal, diagonal? Diagonal. Not vertical. I accidentally... Stop that. You're not 5. Get it together. Now, what is the slope of this line?
4.
Negative 2.
Hey, I'm thinking that.
Now remember, the slope is the number in front of x. So that's a -2. What's our y-intercept?
4.
Is everybody with me? Now, the first thing we do is plot the y-intercept. So what's our y-intercept?
-4. 4.
Okay, remember that thing we said a second ago? That we're going to look at our paper and then we're going to answer? So you should take a breath before you say something, okay? Everybody just breathe. Well, there we go.
Okay, there we go. Let's get it.
Now, what's our y-intercept? 4. Do we go up 4 or down 4? Because it's positive. So we go up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put your hand down. Now, Mackenzie, can you tell me what I'm going to do next? We plotted our y-intercept, right? So we did that. So what do we use from here? She's going to tell me, not y'all tell her. Ignore him. Get out of her face. You can do it, baby. Well, remember, slope is rise then run, correct? So would I go up or down first? Is it positive or negative? I'm going to go down 2. Yep. And then what am I going to do? Over to the right one. So we went down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. Stop. I know, but I wanted her to tell me. Mackenzie, take a point for your team. Now, we just drew the face a second ago, and we said a negative slope has to be going downhill. Do we have a negative slope?
Yeah.
Is this going downhill?
Yeah.
That's how we check it. Is everybody on the same page? Or at least in the same room? Now, Damien, can you please tell me if this is going to be a diagonal, horizontal, or vertical line? Why? Why? I want you to tell me why it has a horizontal line. Because it says what? It says Y. Yes, thank you. Take a point. So it's going to go through the y-axis. Now, what is my y-intercept then? 2. Because it says y equals 2. So do I go up 2 or right 2? Up. Because it's y equals, so you go up 2. So horizontal, does that mean that it's diagonal or left to right, Paris? It is. Yes. Take a point. So I just draw a line through it.
Don't you have to write?
Yes.
You have to write undefined for the slope.
Now we're about to talk about that. We said that x was vertical, and that means it's undefined. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
We have a positive looks like this, a negative looks like this, undefined looks like this. What is a horizontal? 0. So what's our slope?
0.
I was right. Oh, is that actually
Wait, and I have another question.
Okay.
Never mind.
Now, I want everybody to not go any further than the next problem. I want you to do the next problem without me, with no teacher assistant, because we just walked through 4 problems step by step like you don't know how to do anything, so you have to do this without us. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
Graph that problem. Tell me what the slope is, whether it's diagonal. Looks like this. Everybody wrote a 2 right here and a negative 1/4 right here, correct? And then you went up 2. And then you went down 1, right 1, 2, 3, 4. And then up 1, left 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we needed to go downhill, correct?
No.
Because it's negative, we go downhill. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, let's move on to the next one. We graphed one that's an X. We graphed it right here. So what kind of slope are we going to have? It's this one. Undefined. So what should we write right here?
Can we just write you again?
No. Now, what kind of y-intercept do we have?
3, negative 3. No, we don't. No, yeah,
None. What axis is it going to cross? So we have undefined right here. We have none right here. Now, because it says x equals, is it horizontal or vertical?
Horizontal. Vertical.
It's vertical. Did I skip a step on my previous one?
No.
I didn't circle what kind of line it was. Is it vertical, horizontal, or diagonal? It was a diagonal. Alright, it's a vertical line. So is my 3 positive or negative?
Negative.
So am I going to go left or right?
Left.
Left? Alright, let's go left 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, it's a vertical line, so is that straight up and down or left and right?
I think it's left and right. No, straight up and down.
Straight up and down.
Graph the next one without me. So we just graphed this one. Now we're graphing y equals negative x minus 1. This guy right here. Graph this one. See? Alright, so your homework last night was this, right? But we had to finish it. So if you finished it, you can turn it in. If you need to finish it right now, I will give you a few minutes to finish. There is a sheet in the tray, so go get it out of the crate over there. If you need another one, go get it out of the crate. See? Now find where they cross. Yep. So where E is and then this is so they cross right there. So that's negative 14. Alright, now, we cannot scream. We cannot sit there and talk loudly. I need you to sit down. Baby is Algebra 1B. Reggie, you in Algebra 1B. Chandler, what did you need? Why were you saying my name?
I was just saying I couldn't see.
Pardon?
I was just saying I couldn't see.
The board? You don't need to see me. Why do you need to see me?
He wants it back. He
I
wants it
don't.
back.
I
He wanted to take it.
don't.
Alright, so I want everybody to make sure, if you have not turned yours in, we're finishing up and we're making sure that yours looks like mine.
Are you going to go over there with the people that haven't finished?
No. Yeah? Now, how important was it that you labeled these? Very important. Otherwise, you won't know which line is which. Alright, so for C, can you guys, after doing that activity over and over and over, can y'all tell me where I should start? One person raise their hand and tell me where I should start on C. Paris?
Hold up. I don't have my paper on the side of the board.
That's fine. Do I need to zoom in? Hey, we're still having class. Y'all.
You have to start at negative 4.
Alright, so I go down 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what do I do?
You'll go down 5, left 7. Right 7.
Thank you.
And then if you can't do it anymore, or you can't do one more. Okay, then you gotta go up 5 and left 7.
See?
That's a star, okay?
It is a star. Yes, baby. Ay.
No, la C es una que va de aquí. Me falta una línea todavía. Ajá.
She heard you. Alright, so we have E and C, so we needed to see where those met. Did everybody write negative 14.6? Now, is it important that we write our X and then our Y? Yes, that's very important, so make sure you write it correctly. Now, if you finished your homework, you have a checkpoint that you get to do. Who remembers checkpoints from last year?
I do.
So remember, you work out the checkpoint, and then you bring it to me and let me check it. It is on systems of equations. So how many lines are you going to have on the graph?
4, 2.
And what we've been doing. So if you did your homework, then you get to work on this. Bring it to me, let me check it.